Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of G&A Podcast. I am the Boogiebop Phantom himself, Soberoni.
No.
Joined by.
Guess what? I'm the boogie pop.
Woo!
Groovy dude. Bam.
And this is going to be our first dive into the new season of Anime Winter 2019. Kind of, sort of, because some stuff aired. We're still waiting on some other stuff, so this might be a shorter episode than normal.
Yeah.
But, nevertheless, the quality will still be what you expect, which is amazing. Okay. Well, your expectation should lie somewhere between shit and amazing, and you'll be satisfied. So let's start off with something amazing. Boogiepop. It's not Boogiepop Fandom. I'm gonna keep calling it that. It's Boogiepop Warawanai. 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 Boogiepop Warawanai. Episode 1 and 2, because it was a double release.
Listen, I'm still stuck that I came up with Boogiepop on the spot.
That's clutch. You did a good job.
So let's start with the fact that, unlike most episode ones, this is very interesting. They kind of started off with as if it's a normal episode, just the opening, which is really good. As Oni was telling me all about it, how much he can't wait to
the soundtrack, the opening and ending themselves, I think are going to be my favorite opening and ending of the season. I don't know, they're amazing, but just the soundtrack in general, the way the music transitions and suddenly stuff will happen and the music just stops on a T and then it's all silent. The atmosphere and soundtrack in this show is incredible. Perfect sound direction.
Yeah, I would say so. Very, very good music. This whole anime is very interesting. And funny enough, who is it? I think Digibros was hating on it hardcore, but that's not saying much.
Digibros
hates something crazy. But I think he's suffering from VN syndrome or LN syndrome,
where he read the light novel and
and it just in his mind is like, oh, I didn't translate well. There's so much better stuff. So I get where he's coming from.
I feel this show specifically, if you read the light novel, I feel like you wouldn't like, because this feels like a show that's the source material. This needs to be a novel. There's so much stuff going on that I can see why it'd be hard to translate it into a show.
Agreed, absolutely. I also understand why it was at least for me, it was a good call on their part to release episodes 1 and 2 at the same time.
Definitely. That was very smart. If they just released episode 1, I would have been super confused.
Exactly, it would have been confusing. I wouldn't have liked it as much because we don't know what the fuck's going on.
Mm-hmm. I actually really like the storytelling style where it changes perspectives constantly, and it constantly retells events from different perspectives, and it jumps throughout the it sounds confusing on paper, hey, we're gonna transition between different character perspectives and we're gonna jump back and forth through time without telling anybody. It's one scene will literally be at one point in time, and then the next scene will be somebody else's perspective 3 weeks ago without any warning. It just switches, but it somehow works where it's
it's I feel like you get used to it. You'll realize sooner than later that this is happening different time.
Right. It just it's confusing at first, but then eventually it's a puzzle. It's oh, okay, and you start seeing triggers for it. The last big transition they did in the second episode with the Manticore and her lover, I guess, and she was being all jealous of the other girl that came in, and you get to see why she's jealous and all of that. That literally took up half the episode.
It did. I also appreciate that they just highlight the villains from the very start of it, and I don't know, they in a weird way they make the Manticore try to seem very cute, almost.
Yeah, yeah.
She's like,
also
oh my gosh.
It's not really a she. I mean, the Manticore's main body looked male, right? Or
I
was
mean,
male.
yeah, it was male, but it's like, I mean, I'm only calling the Manticore a she now because it's like if it takes
Female form, yeah.
yeah, if it takes female form, take the form of whatever it wants, like calling it a he, you call it a he or she or whatever, it doesn't matter. I guess I'll just call it whatever body the Manticore is inhabiting.
But
And
I
it's
get your
just a
point.
woman for
I like
now.
how the Manticore did transition into basically high school girl mode
Yeah.
when it took over her.
Yeah, she's like, oh my god, I'm making a high school girl, but also, like, also, like, yo, I feel so bad for that girl who died at the end. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, she was like, hey, Echo, like, literally went for the jugular.
Yeah. Also, there's gonna be a theme. I got to follow my advice and actually take notes for this show because I remember no one's nanes. Sorry,
That
I
was
know
another thing
no
that
one's
fucked
fucking
me
names.
up. Oh, that's why they needed episode 2, so you could actually learn the names, or else. And even then, I barely learned them because I wrote them all on paper.
I know Boogiebop. I know Echoes, and I know Manticore because those aren't Japanese names. Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn off Shuten, so you're gonna hear Shuten in here and there.
Great. Yes, you get Shuten's input on all these wonderful things.
But yeah, this show actually just that transitions perfectly to what I wanted to say about this show is it. I was talking to N13 about it on Discord, and it has a very very early 2000s feel. He mentioned, and I'm like, yeah, it really does. This show feels like it could have been released in 2001 or 2002. But not in a bad way. It's just that's how the art style looks, and if you're fine with that, it stays true. It's not like it doesn't have the K-On! Effect where after K-On! Came out, everything needed this like super moe art style. This looks like it's an early 2000s, late 90s anime.
It does, yeah. I thought the art, yeah, the art is very peculiar. I thought, like in my mind, I thought that, but I thought, you know, is that just me being me? Am I still suffering from like the chin trauma?
Yeah, they all have really pointy chins.
No, don't say that. Don't say that because I'm gonna start looking for it. I love. I just love that generally, Boogiepop's like appearance and disappearance. I think did she disappear basically because like this other human girl is like, I'm out to kill. Like this
I guess the other girl succeeds because Boogiepop at the end of episode 1 was just like, oh yeah, somebody took care of that for me, so I don't have to worry about that. Don't worry about it.
Oh, so do you think the Manticore's already dead at this point?
I think the Manticore. I think that at that point the Manticore dies, and I'm pretty sure the girl's name is Nagi Aika or something.
Nagi.
Yeah, Nagi.
Yeah, so literally just think of Negi's father.
Yeah, I'm thinking Nagi probably killed her, or maybe it's a twist, and the other guy she's dating killed her.
Oh,
because I don't trust him either.
Oh my god, that guy! Yeah, he's like insane.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally like, he's like a male yandere, kind of.
Mm-hmm. And
but I can't tell if he's being yandere or if he's like
just crazy,
or if he's just manipulating her.
He's very hard to read. I really like the characters too. Contrary to the fact that they all look the same because I can't tell them apart.
They all do kind of look the same.
Because I like it has that early 2000s stuff. Like no one has rainbow pink hair or anything.
Yeah,
so
they all look like normal, like human beings.
They look like normal people, and I'm like, oh shit, normal people. I can't tell them apart.
All you can tell them is by their hairstyles, like literally how like the guys part their hair, if they do so at all.
So contrary to that, like I already forgot what the main character in episode 1 looked like completely. But
I don't even know his name.
Exactly.
His is the only name. I think his name is the only one I don't know.
Contrary to that, they all do have very interesting, distinct personalities, and they feel like real high schoolish personalities. Like, they don't feel like when you do mystery shows like this and it's all serious. I feel like they tend to make the personalities of the kids overly mature. Except for probably Nagi, the rest of them are kind of at their level.
Yeah. And they don't feel like tropes either.
Yeah, they don't really
so I thought,
the tropes.
First I thought they were gonna like bully, like, you know, start bullying the girl with the glasses. Because they're like, you're glasses and you wear glasses and you're reading about like serial killers and shit. Let's try to time to pick on you.
I like how everyone's nonchalant about people disappearing and serial killers showing up. Like, what? Oh, fifth girl disappeared. Nah, whatever. Who cares? Yeah. She does drugs.
Also, yeah, the schoolgirls are being horrible and gossipy. Like, oh yeah, it's probably that Nagi person. Yeah, she just probably just killed them all.
I was gonna say that's unrealistic, but I'm like, no, these are high school girls. It's totally realistic.
No, yeah, that is totally realistic.
This is totally what they do.
Yeah, it is. It's very high school. Shout out to that girl doing that imaginary judo. She flips the guy over and pins him down. That was very Kenichi. I know Oni doesn't know this, but there's this one character. Probably would be your favorite. It's like this judo god level lolly.
Ooh, already my favorite.
And she it's like she flips people, but like she hardly moves as she flips them. Like you can't tell. Like she just stands still and they just go flying. But yeah, she reminded me like that. I thought that was funny. Definitely, I really like the second episode more than the first.
I did too. Even though I really liked Boogiebop. Like, I thought Boogiebop was gonna be like this mystic, super serious, like I only speak in serious ways and talk about prophecies or whatever. But Boogiebop is like chill and friendly.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just here to do what I gotta do. Oh.
So that was cute. I liked it.
Although I don't know why the guy was so attached to Boogiebop by the end of it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get that. Nah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't really care.
I think he was just like fascinated by like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on? What happened to the girl I was dating?
Fair enough. There's a lot of that happening. Like these high schoolers are just and they all. I didn't think about it that way. They all, like, these three students all had a run-in with like not humans, essentially non-humans.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the one had a run-in with the Manticore. One had a run-in with Echoes, and the other one had a run-in with Boogiepop.
Yep.
I did like the way there was a scene in the beginning, I think, or in the beginning of the second episode, where Manticore and the other dude meet up in a rooftop, and it's like, oh, that's very similar to how Boogiepop and the main character from the first episode meet up on the rooftop. So I guess they were trying to draw that parallel.
Yeah. I love how they're trying to like experiment with the Manticore's power. They're like, we can make this person a slave, right? And then it ends up like they try on this other body, she just dies, and then the other girl starts falling apart, so they have to eat her.
I'm interested in this. I feel like this is a genuinely interesting mystery show. Like I'm curious about the mystery, and I like the feeling I get when it's like little bit by bit you get to understand more and more. Like when the second episode started, I understood absolutely fucking nothing about what was going on. But by the end of it, I'm like, okay, I feel like I understand about 75% of what's going on. I just need that little bit extra to see, to wrap up the loose ends.
Really, I feel like episode 2, it was very information dumpy, but not in a bad way.
Yeah,
they didn't do it in a bad way. It was just annoying to me because I had to take notes on it.
Oh my god!
Notes on it.
I feel bad for your hand because this is definitely a show where you're gonna be writing nonstop.
Literally have to explain, like write down, make sure okay, Echo's an alien, capable of telepathy, but can't really talk.
Yeah.
Yada yada. Evolved too far. Got taken to Area 51.
I kind of hope it keeps doing this, like these little mini arcs. I hope it does mini arcs. I hope this is not the whole arc for the whole season. But I don't think it will be. But I like these little mysteries, like maybe 3 or 4 episodes, each being its own mystery.
Is this really a mystery at this point? It seems like we have all the
It was a mystery at episode 1.
At this point, it's solved by episode 2. At this point, we just have to know how does Manticore die.
Exactly, and we'll figure that out at episode 3, and then I hope episode 4, 5, and 6 are like a separate instance of something else, like episodic kind of.
That would be interesting.
But very good start, very very interesting. I am looking forward to it very much. It feels like a long time since we've actually covered a... Have we ever covered a good mystery anime?
I don't believe so.
So then, cool.
I think second place to this is what? Fucking Chaos Child. That was not a mystery. That was just a shit show.
Well, this is a much better start than Chaos Child.
Yes,
All
definitely.
Right. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Let us move on to Tate no Yuusha, aka Shield Hero, episode 1.
Okay. So we both read the first few chapters, and
before watching the episode.
Yeah, before watching it. So this was very interesting to see the side by side comparisons. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like, first of all, this the anime went so much harder on the whole he's a shield, no one gives a fuck about him, than the actual manga.
Yeah,
especially when they first were introduced to the king. King is straight up just ignoring his presence. I'm like, that didn't happen.
These people are like shield racists. They hate the fucking shield hero. They're like, oh, you don't understand shit because he's a shield hero. Obviously, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's stupid.
Yeah, he's a shield. Of course, he's the fucking loser.
What a loser! Shield hero. Here's your fucking welfare, extra money, shield hero.
Yeah, piece of shit.
Get the fuck out of my town. People treat him like shit, and they made a point to stress that this whole episode.
Yes, that no one thought high of him at all. The other 3 guys, they weren't. I feel like they were not as awful.
They're assholes, but they're assholes. They're not bad people.
Yeah, no, even in the beginning, they didn't straight up treat Naofumi like, oh, look at this piece of shit.
No,
I think in the manga they were way harsh. They were way more
they
cold.
Were way more cold in the manga, but I feel like you still get the sense that they're just pompous dicks in the beginning of the show. You're like, oh, obviously this is they did come off as just
they're like, oh, this is a breeze through to the Mediterranean Sea.
Outside
Japan, you bleed.
Yeah, have you never traveled to the Mediterranean? So they do come off as pompous, know-it-all assholes, which is kind of how they came off in the manga too, just less of it.
Yeah, which I appreciated. Let's see.
I like how it went into more detail about everything. They really did a lot more with the other heroes. They were just totally ignored in the manga in the first chapter.
Yeah, they were just like, oh, these are assholes 1, 2, and 3. And now they're like, oh, we have dialogue and personalities and
scenes
stuff.
And
yeah, they're all they're all actually, I can tell the 3 apart. Yeah. I cannot do that in the manga. I can do it in the anime. Let's see. Skill. Let's see. I have notes about the shield skill. Yeah, very similar to Rimuru.
Extremely similar.
Almost copy and paste, except you just put it on a weapon, which I guess makes it a lot more balanced as opposed to you having the ability. All right, let's go. Let's get to the controversy of it all. So later on, a girl named Mine pairs up with I actually don't know his name. What's his name?
I'm gonna call him Shield Hero.
Okay, Naofumi. Yeah. Naofumi. Yes, paired up with Naofumi. And then the next day, basically, she frames him for raping her. I mean, I don't know what you want us to say. Like, she's being a horrible person, doing a horrible thing. I don't quite get the outrage.
Yeah, a few people are outraged about it because of the whole, like, oh, how can Crunchyroll do this and license this show during the political turmoil of blah, 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 blah,
because
blah.
It's anime from Japan.
Also, I want to note that Shield Hero has been out for, like, this is not like
Yeah,
some Japanese guy was observing the situation in America and being like, oh, yes, now's the time to write about this and make a social commentary on the right and left wing in America. No, this,
American politics.
American politics.
No, the people who
pretty
make
sure
this are
this
not invested at all in American politics whatsoever.
And it came out years ago, like a long Shield Hero. I don't know when the first volume came out, but I'm guessing at least 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So. Yeah. I don't quite get why people. Hopefully, this thing is not like Goblin Slayer levels of outrage where everyone flips their shit because of one scene.
I heard more stuff about that than this so far.
So far.
Hopefully, this doesn't. And also, I'm like, while that is awful, even though it's just like it's a false rape accusation, which is like not great. However. How about the slavery?
10 minutes later, this guy's like, I'm a slave trader. Want to buy my slaves?
I'm like, I was so shocked. I'm like, whoa, wait, hold on. What the fuck? And it wasn't even like cute, like it was in
how not to summon the demon lord. Yeah, no, the slave is not played off for. This is a cute slavery where we get to have fun. No, this is like this guy's like, listen, these are chained up animals and people, and I think at one point he just was like, yeah, I just get slaves and I trap them in these cages and I sell them to people.
Like, oh, they're demi-humans, so everyone treats them like slaves anyways.
So, if anything, that should be more controversial.
I know, that would make more sense to be upset about, because it's just like straight up slavery. But I don't know. I didn't see it. It was a plot point. If it triggers you, I'm sorry that it does, but you can't use that as an excuse for trying to imply that it can't be shown.
Yeah. Also, I don't think the show's making commentary on that. It's not like saying like, good. It's a good thing she lied about the rape accusation. Like, no, it's very much implied that this is a bad thing to do.
And they're not saying all women they all lie about when they get raped. Not just this one. They all. In my mind, I'm like, watch that happen like next episode where they're just.
Oh like, yeah, then we gotta come out and apologize.
And then I'm just like, what the fuck, Shield Hero? I was trying to defend you. What the fuck?
Seems like every episode we do, like every season, there's always a first episode of something that's a little like we had Goblin Slayer, we had Tate first episode.
Oh my god! First of all, I feel like I'm like, hello. I actually think Tate was way more fucked up than Goblin Slayer's. Goblin Slayer's is like, okay, horrible, evil creatures who kill and rape people are killing and raping people. Cut to this guy blackmailing another actor into sex with him, which is rape. The fuck?
Oh man. What a crazy world we live in. Not as crazy as the world that Fumi lives in now, but crazy nonetheless.
Yeah. I thought it was cool how he's like slowly adapting.
Yeah. I like that. Actually, just flat out, I like this episode better than I like the first couple manga chapters. I think it just did a better job overall of like showing the world and everything.
I like this way better. It was once again another good call to make. Well, instead of they basically did the same thing that Boogiebop did, but instead of making it 2 episodes, they just made it one long episode.
Yeah. I also really loved, first off, I really loved the music. Another good case of awesome music and soundtrack. The other thing I really liked was, even though I knew what was going to happen because I read the first couple of chapters, I it was still impactful. Like that court or the scene with the rape accusation and all of that, like it was like oof.
Yeah.
The scene where he gets pulled up against the wall by the store owner still hit me. Like all those scenes still land really well.
Yeah, like the scene where he's getting like accused for rape, like it was really powerful when he's like when you could see like that confusion slowly turning into like a dark anger.
Yeah.
And he's just like, fuck all this shit.
Yeah, and you could feel a lot better in the show because it's like in the manga it kind of just all happened at once.
It did. It was very
this was like a slow build.
This happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened.
Like you could like all those scenes with the other heroes, you can slowly see like, oh man, the shield hero's getting like he slowly realizes like, man, fuck all these people. They don't care about me. They're all against me in all these little ways. And then this big thing just happens, and they're all against me. So, fuck all you guys, you know. So overall, I think it did even better job than the manga, and for the show itself, it was my episode of the week. I think, just incredible first episode.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I have episode of the week. Do I like this over Boogiebop? I don't know. If I had to pick an episode of the week, I think it'd be episode 2 of Boogiebop. I think that's mine.
I was choosing between that and this, so I get that. I also like the fact that we have a protagonist of a isekai who's the opposite of like Kirito and everyone else, or the slime, where everyone loves them and they have like this messiah complex. He
reminds me very much of the main character from Log Horizon.
Yeah,
who's not OP.
He's not OP, and he's also just generally hated by everybody.
Yeah, so
I kind of hope they don't develop him into like some like, oh, actually the shield is some OP magic item, and now you're the strongest hero or whatever. Like, I hope he stays the underdog and just has to get good with the shield.
I feel like that's gonna happen like at the very end. Where it's like, oh, because you grinded so hard, bruh. Here's Excalibur. Go nuts.
Your shield is actually Excalibur. By the way, we only read like the first 2 chapters of the manga, so don't spoil it for us. I'm actually curious about this.
Yes, please do not. But I think we're done with that, and now let's move on to our last anime of the episode. And this is going to be a bit of a special one because I really wanted to cover this.
Yep.
And that is the... Oni, do you know the title of it?
Because I'm just Melloi the Second Case Files?
Yes, that sounds right. That sounds very right. I'm sure you guys all know what we're talking about.
The waiver anime.
Yeah, that one. Episode 0. I will say, I told Oni, I was very worried about where the direction this was going in like the first 2-3 minutes of this. And then after that, when they started being silly, then I was like, okay, we're good.
Was it because of all of the mumbo jumbo type moon talk about magic or whatever?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. And then they start talking about him being the Lord. I'm just like, oh no.
I love that Waver is still like he's obviously matured, but he's still clumsy and stupid.
And kind of weak.
And kind of just horribly weak.
Like he still can't do any magic. Like, what the fuck?
He studied for like a whole day trying to heal a cat, and he still couldn't pull it off. So it kind of fits with his cat. See, this is exactly what I like about. Well, for the most part, Type Moon does this, where they find way, like, even with Shiro's in Facing has a lot of plot armor and all this stuff, and he obviously spoilers, he beat Gilgamesh, but it's only because of certain factors. Like, it's not because Shiro himself is some OP super god of magic
because Rin gave him that good mana transfer, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. And good mana transfer from Rin. You had the whole thing with Gilgamesh being a snobby asshole, but I'm not going to use my strongest, so I'm not going to take this fight serious. Like, there's all these other factors that play a role, and Waver is recognized as like a lord, and he's talented, but he ain't no fucking. He's not the super magician or anything like that. He can barely do any magic.
I would say, like, at the end of the episode when they're chasing down the bad guy, it's like he has to rely on his students.
Yeah, he has to rely on his students to do everything.
Ooh.
Which, by the way, that's the other thing I loved about this episode. The cast is great.
Yeah.
Even his students, like the twins.
I like them a lot.
Me too.
Are they twins?
I'm assuming they're twins. They look alike.
Uh-huh.
Well, they flat and feel.
I was just like white people.
Like blonde hair.
Of course they're blonde.
Do they have like crushes on the individual? Like one of them likes Waver and then the other one likes.
Yeah, I think
Gray?
one has a crush on Waver and one has a crush on Gray. I think that's her name.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? But also that adds to their character, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think the animal guy, doesn't he have a crush on Waver?
I think so.
That's why he gets so mad whenever the other one like makes up these ridiculous names.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
That was great. I like just in general the lore of I keep almost calling it FGL. I like the lore of Type Moon's Natsuverse. So just getting a chance to actually see them talk about how magic works and the different types of spells and shit. Like it goes over my head 75% of the time, but I don't know. It's compelling for it to flesh out the world, and it makes me go on the Type Moon wiki and read article after article after article about random shit in this universe. So I liked it. It makes me more interested in the universe. It makes me like Waver more.
It does. It makes me sad that he can't use any fucking magic. I was a little disappointed in that, but you know, I like this whole him struggling and yada yada yada. I like the whole scene where they refer back to him and Alexander. Like that, first of all, got me in my feelings. Almost to the point where I was almost like searching for for some fan fiction.
I'm so glad that they keep leaning on that because it's like, oh yes.
Yeah, it's a very that was like a huge thing for me. I was like, I'm going to like this episode depending if at all they decide to revisit like him being in the Grail War, because like they need to reference that. If they don't, that's like almost doing disservice to like his character. That's like a huge thing that changed his life.
I'm assuming that the reason he doesn't want Gray to look at him is because she looks like Saber. he's like, I'm fed up of reminders of the Grail War, so having a literal Saber face follow me around.
Yeah, she does look. She actually. I didn't like notice that for some reason.
So,
well, you have anything else to say about it?
Just that it's sad that this is not going to be out until July.
Yeah, no, that really sucks.
Yeah.
Although I figured as much because it started from episode 0. I thought it was an OVA.
It kind of is in a way.
Yeah, more or less.
So, well, we'll look forward to this. Will definitely be in our lineup when it comes out in the summer.
100%. I know you guys will be looking forward to it. And if you're looking forward to more, how about you show it by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Check out our Twitter, where hopefully you won't see me cussing out Domino's anymore.
So next week it'll be Pizza Hut. Coming for you,
Luckily,
Pizza Hut.
Luckily, Pizza Hut doesn't live anywhere near me. It doesn't live anywhere near me. But yeah. Another special fuck you to Pizza Hut, to Domino's for fucking up my order.
This video is not brought to you by Domino's and never will be.
It never will be. They couldn't pay me to lie about their good service. And I'm still waiting for that fucking follow-up, bitch.
They did send a message.
Yeah, they said they say second message. Because they said the store's gonna follow up personally with me. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that, Domino's. Aside from that, check out our Discord. It is diggity dope, and best of all, or least of all, or most of all, check out Twitch, because after all, it is just Twitch. If you want to go the extra mile, please do by joining our Patreon, along with all these wonderful peoples, all these wonderful benefactors who invest in our success. And yeah, Any more notes before we go, Oni?
No more notes. Just make sure you guys watch the Melloi anime because I know a lot of people, based on the comments I got, didn't know what it was. So I recommend checking it out. Very fun, very good show. Needs more love.
Yes, more love. We all need more love, and I need better service from Domino's. With that being said, that's all the time we have for here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, this is Ruby Doo
Soberoni.
And we are out of here. Bye-bye.
Later.